Game 3 of the NBAIHSAA Finals. We have the Plainfield Quakers going up against the Franklin Grizzly Cubs. Plainfield was able to take Game 2 away from Franklin last week. Just a couple nights ago. And here we go for Game number 3. Welcome to the Centerbrook Court, the home of the Artesians. Martinsville is a proud host of Game 3 of the Finals. Plainfield, Franklin, and some breaking injury news for both teams. So let's start with Plainfield. Nick Green and Noah Smith are out for the season. They have been injured, broken bones after collapsing on the floor in practice. And then for the Grizzly Cubs, Drew Pekar and Jacob Lackey injured. Who's going to win this game? Will it be the Quakers trying to take Game 3 and take the lead in the whole finals, or will it be the Grizzly Cubs? And we had some major recovery news for both teams as well. Chase Wofford is back. He's on the starting lineup for Franklin, and Ray Green, Grant Irwin, they're back. They're back on the lineup for the Quakers. We are about ready to go play some basketball in Martinsville. Plainfield, Franklin split in Mooresville, and we are underway in Martinsville. Swafford has the ball. Back to East. Quick start, and here's Swafford again. Back to Horner. Austin Horner, back to Swafford. Chase Swafford, welcome back. Swafford for 3. Schmidt to Roden. How about this? Cam Bozell starting for Franklin. Cam Young there. He has it. Back to Schmidt. Colin Schmidt for 2. And Franklin off to a fast start here tonight. And it's a sea of blue. Here's Horner with the dunk. Austin Horner ducks it down. Great start from Austin Horner and the Franklin Grizzly Cubs. And Overton throws it to Young. Here comes Young. Back to Overton. Cooper Overton for 3. And we are tied. Tie game at 5. Swafford has the ball. Plainfield in their white uniforms. Franklin in their black. Swafford for 2. It's 7-5, Franklin. Here's Cameron Young. What will he do here? Young back to Schmidt. Colin Schmidt for 3. And the Quakers are back up front. And the Quakers take the lead here from Martinsville. Here's Jackson. He's looking. Back to East. Back to Jackson. Jackson for 2. And it took him all. It took him up until the second half 2 days ago to go off against Plainfield, and he finally scores. Here's Zach Roden. Roden with it. Back to Schmidt. Colin Schmidt for 3. East there with the ball. Less than a minute to play here in the first quarter. East looking. Shot fake. And it's almost stolen. Horner there. Back to Swafford. Chase Swafford back to East. Going East for 3. East for 3. Here's Cameron Young. Young to Overton. Cooper Overton for 3. Overton for 3. And Martinsville Everybody in Martinsville is on their feet about Colton East going off so far against the Quakers. Overton has already gotten 2 threes already against the Grizzly Cubs, his former team. It's Colton East. The lob, no good. Young with it. Half-court shot, no good. Plainfield leads it, entering the second quarter, 14-12 at the end of the first. What a game from Martinsville. The Grizzly Cubs down 2. We will be back after this short break. Welcome back to Martinsville. The Quakers up by 2. It's 14-12. In this beautiful gym court, in this beautiful arena, on this beautiful court in Martinsville. Here we go. Dockery has the ball. Looks like Garrett Irwin is out there. How about for Franklin? It's Swafford, Reifinger, Rockhill, Jackson, Stevenson. Irwin back to Porath. Back to Overton. Cooper, Overton for 2. No good. Swafford with the rebound. Dockery is out there with Zach Roden. Then it's Overton. Porath and Irwin. Eli Jackson for 3. There's the first 3 for Eli Jackson of many. Here is Dockery. Back to Irwin. Garrett Irwin back to Grant Porath. Porath with it. Back to Overton. Overton starting to be on fire here tonight. 16-15, Quaker lead. And we know for a fact that Franklin will be wearing their navies tomorrow. Reifinger for 3. But Plainfield will still be wearing these uniforms. These all-white unis. Here's Dockery. Back to Garrett Irwin. Back to Porath. Grant Porath for 3. 1-point game now here in the second quarter. The Quakers lead it 19-18. Will it be? How about that 3? Henry Reifinger again for 3. But yeah, will the Quakers take game 3? Oh, Dockery goes out of bounds. Leading scorers and points. Eli Jackson in second, just behind Chris Arnavitas. Rockhill throws it back into Eli Jackson. Jackson already has 1 3. Here's Reifinger. Henry Reifinger going off against Plainfield. That's his third 3 in a row. Zach Roden with the ball. Back to Dockery. Dockery back to Overton. Back to Roden. Back to Dockery. Luke Dockery for 3. It's a 2-point game. And here we go. Reifinger back to Rockhill to Swafford. Swafford to Stevenson. Jonathan Stevenson, no good. Dockery with the rebound. Back to Roden, back to Overton. Back to Garrett Irwin, back to Overton. Dockery in for 2. We are tied at 24. Swafford with the ball. And here is Swafford. Back to Jackson. Eli Jackson for 3. 3-point game. Dockery there to tie it up. Overton for 2. That is a buzzer beater, but Franklin has the lead entering halftime. The Grizzly Cubs lead it in a really close affair. 27-26, the score at half. We welcome you back to the Center Brook Court, the home of the Martinsville Artesians. And here's Ray Green. He will throw the ball to Colin Schmidt. Schmidt taking it out. Out there for Franklin, it's Chase Wofford, Colton East, Austin Horner, Eli Jackson, and Cam Bazel. Schmidt for 2. Here's Jackson, back to Swafford. Swafford for 2, and it is, and he shoots it behind the basket. So it goes out of bounds. Green back to Schmidt. Schmidt with the ball. Who is he going to hand it off to? Nobody. Schmidt will dunk it in himself. Schmidt slams it in. Colin Schmidt. Welcome back to the starting lineup, my man. Schmitty dunks it in. It's 30-27. For 3. Colton East for 3. Colton East for 3. We are tied at 30. Cameron Young there. He has the ball. And Schmidt will get it. Colin Schmidt for 3. Schmitty for 3. Here's the pressure. Swafford for 3. And it's good. Chase Swafford for 3. Swafford makes that 3-point. Makes it. Swafford. I think it was Swafford with the block as Schmidt couldn't hang on to the ball. Continuing to be tied for now. Colton East for 3. East drops it in. Timeout, Plainfield. The first timeout called here in Martinsville. And we know for a fact that there are a few Artesians here like Bo Dilly. He's here in the house tonight watching the game. What a game we are seeing from Martinsville. Franklin up by 3 against the Quakers. You know for a fact that we will be going back to Mooresville in Game 5. But after Game 4, will there be a Game 6 right back here? That's the question. If Franklin wins tonight and Plainfield wins tomorrow night, maybe a Game 6. Back here in Martinsville, what a game we are seeing. Just a 30-second timeout. And here we go. Swafford has been amazing here tonight. Could we see the debut of Cohen Vanderbush in a Grizzly Cubs jersey here tonight? We could. I think, yeah, that's Michael Hummel that's on the court for the Quakers. Hummel with it. Throwing it back into Eli Ellis. To Hummel. Michael Hummel ties it up. Hummel for 3. And here we go. Here's Colton East again. East with the ball. Let's see what he will do. East looking still for 2. Back to Stevenson. Stevenson there for 2. And Franklin back up front. There's the pass from Irwin back into Ellis. Ellis hands it off to Dockery. Dockery back and Ellis for 3. Eli Ellis for 3. Eli Ellis for 3. A huge 3-pointer there by Ellis. It's Colton East. East back to Carwine. Jackson Carwine with the dunk. Carwine dunks it in. And here comes Luke Dockery. Dockery has the ball. Dockery still looking to Ellis. Eli Ellis for 3 again. Here's Carwine. Full court shot, no good. And the Quakers have a 2-point lead entering the 4th quarter. It's been a back and forth affair with a few dunks already today. Carwine, Schmidt, and Austin Horner. Who's going to win here tonight? We will find out in approximately 3 minutes after the game ends. Welcome back to the Centerbrook Court, the home of the Artesians. What a game we are seeing. Eli Ellis starting to hit those threes like he usually does. Ellis starting to hit those tough threes like he usually does against Franklin. And here we go. Rockhill to Jackson. Out there for Plainfield, it's Eli Ellis, Luke Dockery, Cooper Overton, Grant Porath, and Michael Ulmer. Here's Eli Jackson, back to Carwine. Jackson, Carwine for 3. Franklin for 3. There is no shot in blocking that. Here's Eli Ellis. Ellis has been fantastic. Overton to Dockery, to Porath. Back to Overton. Overton looking. And he makes it in for 2. And here we go. Jackson with the ball. Jackson. Back to Horner. Austin Horner slams it in. Horner slams it in, and here is Cooper Overton. He hands off to Luke Dockery. Dockery back to Ellis. Ellis loses the ball, and it is stolen by Eli Jackson. Back to Rockhill. And to Horner. Here we go. Carwine. He's behind the 3-point line now. Back to Jackson. Eli Jackson for 3. Eli Jackson for 3. And that is what he usually does. Here's Eli Ellis. Back to Overton. Overton loses the ball and it goes out of bounds. Franklin takes over. Ellis is out. And how about this? Great game we were seeing. Swafford and Reifinger switch places. Reifinger back to Swafford. Back to Rockhill. Nathan Rockhill for 3. And Franklin is starting to pull away. Hummel back to Young. Back to Dockery. Luke Dockery for 3. Timeout Franklin. With 1:04 left on the clock. I don't know why Franklin decided to waste a timeout when Plainfield already has 2 timeouts remaining, I think. So what a game we are seeing from Martinsville. Plainfield 2 timeouts left. Franklin has 1. It is a 4-point game in Martinsville. Franklin leads it by 4. And you got to wonder, is that because of the injuries? And here we go. We are back. We are getting back into the swing of things. Zach Roden, it's into the game. He has done nothing for the Quakers. Here is Swafford. Swafford with it. Franklin, remember, they have the ball here. Final minute. Swafford for 3, and it's rebounded. It is no good. Here's Overton. Overton back to Schmidt for 2. Schmidt for 2. Plainfield starting to close the gap. but I don't think it will be enough. Here's Swafford. Again, about 30 seconds left. Swafford, 3, and it is rebounded again. It's no good. Irwin to Overton. Tie game. Franklin takes another timeout. It was just 51-44. And after the first timeout Franklin took, things went bad for the Grizzly Cubs. Plainfield has found their way back and will tie the game against Franklin. 25 seconds left in Martinsville. Unless we go into OT. And that will end the overtime period. The timeout period. What a game we are seeing. Everybody is on their feet. And did I just see an Avon Orioles fan in the stands? I just saw a fan wearing a yellow shirt that had the Orioles logo on it. How about that? An Orioles fan is in the stands. Here is East. Colton East there. Draining the clock. Like he is supposed to. If he misses it, it's going to be bad. East for 3. He makes it. 4.2 seconds left. That is enough time for Plainfield. Plus Plainfield will get it on their... Plus they will get it on Franklin's side. All Plainfield needs to do is shoot a 3 and send it into overtime. And here we go. Man, John Husselman talking it over with his team. His team knows that this may be the final shot of the game. Franklin may be taking game 3 away from Plainfield. But we don't know. Here we go. 30 seconds is up. It's been a 30-second timeout. And here we go from Martinsville. 4.2 seconds left. Who's going to win it? Irwin. Back in for 3. It's good. We are tied. Bozell to Swafford. Four-court shot. No good. And we're going into overtime. The 3-point is good by the Quakers. And we are officially going into overtime. Who's going to win it in overtime? Let's see. Let's see who's going to be winning it in overtime. Here we go from Martinsville. We are back underway in overtime. Plainfield gets the tip-off. Young there. Young looking. He has the ball back to Roden. Roden back to Schmidt. Schmidt in for 2. And the Quakers will win in overtime. Colin Schmidt hits the overtime game winner. And the Quakers will take game 3. Plainfield will now be up 2-1 on the Grizzly Cubs. What a game from the Centerbrook Court in Martinsville. Overtime game. Coming down to a sudden death overtime. Schmidt hits the game winner. As the lights go out on the stadium, it is time to see the New Balance player of the game for the Quakers, Colin Schmidt. Schmidt has been fantastic today. And the Quakers win it in overtime. That will do it, everyone. Colin Schmidt does it for Plainfield. That will do it. Thanks for watching, everybody.